Good afternoon. We have a lot to talk about today with some storm impacts for this weekend and moving into early next week. Now, this winter storm watch is what we're going to be paying attention to. This is going to impact western Alaska, including areas such as the Aleutians, the Alaska Peninsula, and the YK Delta. This is going to bring a wintry mix and also bring some high winds into the Aleutians. But because of the storm, we might even see some snow likely into south central by Monday. Now, just looking at our jet stream, I want you to pay attention to this big purple blob next to me. This is really what's going to be bringing in all of that wintry mix into the southern portion of western Alaska. You can see right here, the Aleutians are going to be one of those main areas impacted by this storm. This is going to bring those high winds. This is also going to bring some rain and snow into this area right here. So areas like Dillingham and Bethel are areas that are going to be impacted, but the major impacts are mostly going to happen in the Aleutians along Unalaska and Cold Bay. Now, this is mostly true for those high wind speeds, but we do see this big branch of moisture stretching all the way down and out for western Alaska. This is going to shift in by Sunday morning, even pushing into the afternoon, bringing in some wintry mixes right here, highlighted right there. That's going to bring some snow, like very light snow. Around 1 inch is likely for those areas in Dillingham and Bethel. But then you'll notice that moving into Monday, we're going to see that moisture pushing out into southeast Alaska and south central. So this is the whole reason that by Monday, we might see some snow moving into Anchorage, but mostly for Seward and the Copper River Basin. But just looking into southeast, that's where we're going to see those rounds of rain moving through, as well as some of those higher elevation regions, seeing just a little bit of snow pushing through. Now, I had mentioned that Unalaska was one of those areas mostly impacted by the storm. That's mostly for those wind speeds. So you can already see wind speeds up to nearly 40 miles per hour pushing in by Sunday morning, but then they start to taper off just a little bit more by the afternoon. So expect those impacts to come through into the early morning hours on Sunday for the Aleutians, into western Alaska as well. Southeast, you're going to see these impacts by Monday. Same with south central. So we're going to look at our rain totals pushing on through. We're going to see nearly an inch and a half of rain moving through into Unalaska, even just a little bit, about 1/10 of an inch for Bethel. So not a whole lot of rain expected, but then pushing into southeast, the area where we're going to see a lot more rain is going to be Yakutat. So that's where we can expect to see just a little bit less than an inch of rain pushing through for that area. Now, this is just another view of where you can see all of those rain totals pushing through for southeast. So Yakutat seeing most of that rain total, but southeast not really seeing a whole lot, but that's going to come by for Monday. So then we're seeing a lot of these traces of snow pushing through for southwest Alaska, an inch into Bethel. But then I did mention that potential for snow into south central. That's going to be into Monday, pushing into Tuesday, about 2 inches. So expect 1 to 2 inches in south central. That includes into Anchorage, just a little bit more into Seward, and then just a little bit more into the Copper River Basin. So that's what you can expect. But over for southeast Alaska, we're expecting to see those temperatures in the 30s, mostly sunny skies for tomorrow, but that'll change going into Monday. Interior is going to stay relatively dry, very calm, but then later into next week, we're going to see an uptick in those temperatures. So that's something that you can look out for. Up into the North Slope, we're seeing those temperatures very chilly into the negatives, but then for western Alaska, that's where we're going to see some of that snow pushing through, even those wind gusts pushing into the 30 miles per hour and 35 miles per hour. But the Aleutians are where we can expect most of these impacts to come through. So south central, expect these mostly cloudy skies. For those more southern portions of the Kenai Peninsula into the Copper River Basin, we're expecting to see more of that snow pushing through. But then for Matsu, and this is also relevant for Anchorage, we're going to see mostly sunny skies by the morning and then more clouds pushing into the afternoon. So that's what you can expect. And then we'll see these sunny skies pushing in for Sunday. Then Monday, our snow chances, but those temperatures are warming just slightly. So this snow might turn into more of a rainy mixture. But then for Fairbanks, you're going to see that uptick in those temperatures as we progress through the rest of the week. So, Michaela, that's kind of what you can expect to see for the remainder of this week.
I'm definitely not looking forward to any more snow.
Well, you can look forward to it. Try to.
Fair enough. Thank you, Bailey.